On this episode of Coding with Kate, I wanted to do a little bit of a Q&A. I don't really have too many questions. There's only about like 3 or 4, but it's questions that I've received on some of my videos that it would just be easier to do them in one video since I can't make a video on each. And always keep in mind that you can also ask me questions over on Twitter. You can follow hashtag Coding with Kate or at Coding with Kate, either one. That will get connected to me so you can ask questions on there. Also follow me on Twitter too, because I usually post fun little articles that I come across or post from other people within the HIM field or the healthcare or medical field, so you always find some fun stuff throughout there. So go ahead and follow me on Twitter, and if I have any updates about upcoming videos, etc., you'll also see some of that on there as well. So, with the very few questions that I have, because usually I just answer them right away in the comments, but there's a few of them, like I think 2 of them I haven't answered, and the other 1 or 2 I have, but I just want to put it all in a video because I think Q&As are fun. I just need more questions. So please, ask questions on the videos or over on Twitter. Oh, and I'm sorry if you might hear any outside noises because here in Wisconsin, it is finally very nice out, so we can have the windows open. So I have a window over here and a window over there, and they are open right now, so you might hear some noises, but I didn't want to close them just for the video. I wanted to enjoy the mid-50-degree weather. Spring's almost here! So let's get going on our first question. Okay. There are 3 questions, but oh well. So one of them, what school did you attend? So I've received this question multiple times. Previously, before I got certified, I was a little bit hesitant on saying where I was going for classes, etc. I'm not entirely sure why. I kind of thought it would look like I was sponsoring them or whatever. I don't really know. But now that I'm certified and I'm technically finished with the courses, I shouldn't say technically. Technically, I'm not finished because I still have the clinical practice to officially complete, and then I think the reimbursement one I still have to officially complete. It's just taking the final exam. But other than that, I'm basically done. So I am taking, and have taken, my courses through AHIMA's online Coding Basics program. It made the most sense for me because I didn't want to spend a ton of money going to a brick and mortar school or a brick and mortar school that has online courses, because then you have to pay for the degree and it's usually going to cost you upwards of $10,000 for the entire course, or like $5,000 a semester. It really depends on what the school was, and I didn't want to do that. That was just too expensive. I already have student loan debt that I have to pay off from my bachelor's program, so I didn't want to go to a brick and mortar school. So I took AHIMA's courses, and I do plan on doing their next program at some point, and it's with, I think it's called professional coding. I'm not really sure. I have to look into it, but I know that will be the next thing that I'll do, probably prepping for the CCS in 2 years. So that is where I went / still am going to school. The next question, have you found a medical coding job yet? Yes and no. So right now at the other hospital that's in my area, I had applied mid-January, I think it was, for a Coder 1 position, and my application since then is still active. Application received. So it's still active. Who knows when they'll get in contact with me. But I emailed the coding department at my hospital where I work, let them know I got my CCA and I would like to do some on-the-job shadowing, training, etc. if you have any of those opportunities, or if there are any open positions that aren't posted yet. And the next day, the director or the supervisor of the overall coding department got back to me, said, "Oh, congratulations on your certification. We do have some positions available, so the recruiter and one of the other supervisors of one of the sections of the coding department will let you know what next steps to take. So from that, I'm not entirely sure if they are expecting you're going to get this position no matter what because we want to train you, or they'll let you know how to apply since we don't have the positions posted, or we're just going to train you expecting that in the future you will be giving us your application when we're ready to interview you, etc. So I'm not entirely sure, but it's exciting that they got back to me really quick saying, yeah, we have positions available. We'll get you started on whatever the process is. So I might have a coding job in the next 6 months. Who knows? But I'm excited. So that's the very exciting thing about finding a coding job, is if you're already working at a hospital in a different department, you have your foot in the door, and they would prefer to hire internally, meaning anyone that works for the hospital. It's exciting. I'm very excited. I didn't expect to get that kind of response and that quick from the person that responded, which was, I believe she's the director or the main supervisor over all of the coding department. The big wigs are talking to me, and it's exciting. Yay. And I think we're down to our last question. Okay. How much does it cost to keep your certification? How do you go about it? And is it like AAPC where you just have to be a member just like with AHIMA? And what about CEUs? So on AHIMA's website, you can go to the certification tab and then down to recertification, and there's a ton of information all on how to maintain your certification, how much is it to recertify, etc. Everything you need to do, and with CEUs. So you can read all of that. They also have a link to a recertification guide, which goes into even more depth on what sorts of courses, programs, or activities that count for CEUs, etc. And from what I was reading, it's a little confusing because they do talk about both if you are certified through AHIMA but don't have a membership with them, and if you have a membership and you're certified. They have the two prices, and I believe, if I'm reading this correctly, non-members holding an AHIMA certification pay $218 every 2 years to recertify, and I think that's for the CCA and the CCS, and I think the CCSP. And then if you are a member and are certified, recertification I think is only $50 every 2 years, because some of that recertification fee is included in your membership fee, I think. I'm pretty sure I'm reading that correctly. So that's kind of the somewhat fees-ish. And as far as CEUs go, AHIMA has webinars, all of their courses, national, local, regional, AHIMA meetings, etc. all count for CEUs, but you can read more in depth on that. But they do have fun webinars that they host, I think, once a month online that count for about 1 CEU, I think. And as far as for me, for CEUs, I'm going to plan on doing 1 to 2 CEUs each month, because I know for sure as long as I'm getting a CEU once a month for the 2 years, I will have upwards of 20 CEUs. I'll be around the 24 mark if each CEU is worth only 1 point. So I think it's best to spread them out. Like, don't do them in bulk. Like, do all of your CEUs, all 20 of them in 1 month or something. Spread them out so it isn't as overwhelming. And also you'll get a wide variety, because each month or every couple of months they'll have different topics that are discussed in the various areas or activities that you can do to get CEUs. So I was actually looking at one of the emails that I get through the Wisconsin AHIMA chapter, whatever you want to call them, and they had an advertisement for the South Carolina chapter of AHIMA, and they were hosting a webinar that sounded really interesting, and that's coming up on April 5th, so I'm going to sign up for that. And the price was only, I think, like $20, and you get 1 CEU. There were 2 different topics you could cover. One on privacy and then one on, I don't even remember what the topic was because I just briefly looked at it. Let's look at it now. So with CEUs, you don't have to get them just through your state or whatever. It can be anything that's offered through any of the coding organizations or anything within the HIM field across the entire country, because as long as it's online, you can still attend it virtually. Why not? So the webinar, they have one of them for privacy security, overview of litigation from the IG perspective, what, when, who. And then they have another one, pharmacology for coders, delivery, pharmacodynamics, and pharmacokinetics. I'm going to be doing that one because that sounds really interesting, and also pharmacology with coding can be a little confusing. I don't have much experience with that. They didn't cover it that much in my courses, so I'm going to do that one. And it's 1 CEU, so yeah, me. I'm going to do that. So that's another thing with being an AHIMA member. You're going to get a discounted price for most of these things, and you'll also get some newsletters and things that may not be accessible to non-members, which is great. But either way, through AHIMA, no matter what, member, non-member, you're going to get newsletters that's going to have this information in it. So they'll advertise Coffee and Coding, which happens, I think, once a month, and any other webinars through AHIMA or the different state chapters or whatever, and you'll get a lot of great resources to get your CEUs, and you don't have to be hunting and finding all these CEUs. They make it very easy to find them. So that is my plan as far as CEUs go. But that recertification guide gives all the information on what activities count and what don't count and from who, etc. But it's all pretty easy to find, and I can't wait. And I think there's a Coffee and Coding coming up in a couple weeks, I think, that I'm gonna register for. And the Coffee and Coding, that's completely free. So you still get CEUs for it, but you don't have to pay anything. So it's great. I love that. So I'm at least going to do that every month, no matter what. If you have any other questions on CEUs or on any of the topics that I covered today, or you just have any questions in general, coding or generally with me, whatever, post them in the comments below or follow me on Twitter and use the hashtag CodingWithKate. To follow me, look for @CodingWithKate, and you will get information on all of that. You can ask any questions you need, and hopefully I can find the answer. If not, I send them off to the coders, and I will let you all know what I come up with. Also, subscribe if you have not. I do videos on ICD-10-CM, ICD-10-PCS, and CPT, and other topics within medical coding or the clinical medical field, etc. And also like this video if you enjoyed the Q&A. Me covering different questions that you've asked that I might not have been able to answer right away. And you like this format for random questions that might not be able to fit in one video solely for it. This is a great way to do that. And I love Q&As, it's fun. So let me know if you like this by liking the video and let me know in those comments. And I'll see y'all later. Bye!